version of SecurityGuideTV.com. A little tight for a 3-shot, but we're making it work.
Just how we like it, though.
Zoba.com with Daniel and Joseph Brennan brothers. I wouldn't have guessed that. You're going to talk to me about something really cool. What is it?
So, I feel like the buzzword of the week is machine learning.
Right.
So, we have developed a way to use machine learning to look at the composition of a city in a way that allows us to predict the intensity of crime across city over the
that's
next
very
year,
interesting.
kind of in the future.
Now, a crime pattern.
Crime patterns,
Not
of crime.
a specific crime predictability, but just trends.
Less Minority Report and more
Yeah.
which block is more dangerous than the other block with regards to specific types of
Yeah,
crime.
I was talking to you guys before the show about a guy in Seattle. Seattle cop years ago came up with a relational database. He stuck all the crimes in it, and he said, what's the shortest driving distance between all these things? And he said, here is within 10 minutes of everything, and it turned out that's where the guy committed the crime. And it is getting close to Minority Report, but I like this idea. I haven't heard of it. Is it new?
So it's brand new. So we spent about the last year kind of developing the predictive models, and kind of what we did is we took a bunch of different criminology type of research, academic research, and we paired it with the most advanced machine learning technologies, and we kind of found out a way to use the machine learning to pull predictions out of this academic research. And just like the cop in Seattle, instead of looking at driving distances, we look at kind of geospatial variables across the city, right? So if there's an ATM here, and a park there, and a large road here, and a bar here, at 2 a.m. someone's getting robbed.
It's a no-brainer. That's true. Yeah.
So, but what the machine learning allows us to do is, instead of having a human analyst look at these different geospatial variables, we can look at millions and millions of different variables all at once without having to go through and make predictions.
This is brilliant. I mean, I do it driving down the street all the time. Drives my kids nuts. See that guy right there? He's a bad guy. How do you know? I just know. And that guy's going to get hit because he's next to a freeway on-ramp. And when I rob your store, I drive away. So if you're crunching that data simultaneously across a huge network in a city, that's a brilliant idea. That's fabulous.
And I think, the thing we're most excited about is we are able to make these predictions in cities that do not have historical crime data. So if we take millions and millions of rows of data and our machine learns, every time it gets more data it learns, then we can go to a city that doesn't have crime data, like anywhere in South America or many emerging markets around the world, and we can look at a city and how the geospatial variables of that city interact and make crime predictions there. Which is something that we're really excited about.
Now, do you draw on things like social media and all these other variables that nobody used to think about as a predictability? But I live in Burbank, right? And one day we saw all these cop cars were zipping up to the mall. And I went up there, and they're all sitting there waiting. They're all parked surrounding the mall. I talked to one of the guys I know and said, "What's going on?" "Oh, we're going to have a swarm here." I said, "When?" "About an hour." So when this guy showed up to swarm the mall, the entire Burbank police force was waiting for him.
Got it.
And that was it. Big fail, right? He got it all off social media, right? So these are ways to predict crime, too. What other sources of data would you guys use for predictability?
So, that's kind of, close-in predictability. We're trying to work out, kind of over the next year. So
No, I get that part. But, I mean, what other data sources would you use to say, we're going to see an uptake in wallet thefts because of, guess what? The Olympics are coming here.
So we'll look at kind of the geospatial indicators like we talked about, so like different types of businesses, different where the roads are, how the city works. We'll also look at how people move throughout a city during a day, right? So where do people live predominantly in the city? Where do they work? Depending on what kind of jobs they have, what's the average commute? How do they get to work? And so then we can track hour by hour how people move throughout a city. We'll look at a lot of satellite imagery, and for the satellite imagery, we'll use machine vision, which kind of can look at a picture and tell you what's inside the picture. That'll help us make decisions. And we'll also look at satellite imagery to pull out, street lighting and things like that. How much light is in this nighttime satellite imagery picture, and we'll take all that data and we'll match it up with criminal incidents in the past, and the machine will tell us how those different data types interacted with those crimes. So there was a robbery here. Why was there a robbery here?
Right.
Was it because there's an ATM here? Was it because there's no street lighting?
Right.
Because there's
and it's going to match something.
It'll match, right? And so then you kind of draw these inferences, and over time, the more inferences you get, the more you can be predictable based on or predictive based on what's in the area.
Right. And the beauty of it is too, we can add in anything. So if we can put it into the data set, we can add it into the model. So you'll even see some proprietary data. So for example, if we're working with a large retailer, they might say, hey, these are the stores we've invested in. This is the money we've put into security. We can add that to the model and see if that correlates with decreases in crime. So we can really add anything in that's proprietary, anything that we create our own, like the satellite imagery, and add that into the model.
And the machine will tell us if it works or not, right? So we can add in as much data as we want, and the machine will say, hey, this isn't as predictive, we'll pull that out, or, this type of data is more predictive. So
fantastic. How long have you guys been doing this?
About a year now, a little over a year.
So. You got a booth here today?
We do not. We're
This
young.
is your booth right here.
Yeah. Booth. Come meet us.
This is the booth. And well, really, you guys hang out around the ASIS hub here. Absolutely. This is 1613. Come down and talk to these guys. You're not former law enforcement. You're too
No.
young. You probably don't even have a driver's license. This is a fantastic idea.
I was a Marine infantry officer.
Oh,
Iraq and
then
Afghanistan.
that trumps me. That's awesome. All right, ZOBA.com. Last question. You guys aren't twins, right?
No, just
Okay.
brothers.
All right, but
I mean, my beard's better than his big.
Yeah.
who came up with the idea?
It was a joint thing. I was
joint
working
job.
with
Oh,
the
okay.
State Department in
That's fabulous.
Baghdad, and
Yeah.
he was working in Thailand doing some research, and
Yeah.
we're both
Yeah.
having security issues, and we're like,
Yeah.
hey, can we be more predictive? And the answer is yes.
Fantastic. ZOBA. I love the name. ZOBA.com. Check them out. Daniel Joseph Brennan here at ASIS 2017 as his hub. Booth 1613. SecurityGuideTV.com. Back in a little while.